first time ever we have the 3 Jennies.
Really?
The silly name Jenny's our band name will be.
That's amazing. I know, I can't get over you. She's a spitting image of them.
Yes. Quite, yes.
So can we talk 7 Ps a little bit then?
Yes.
Fun, bad.
Oh, great fun.
Great fun.
Big cast.
Big production.
Yes.
Yeah, it was massive production, wasn't it? It was very, very technical.
Very technical. John Napier did the sets, who did Les Miserables and various other big shows in the West End.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And I thought we had great laugh on it. And there is an incident, I don't know if you remember this, when you and I were both in a Dalek.
Of course, as you do.
And Jimmy Matthews spun us round so fast, it tipped, and we fell into the orchestra pit.
I must have blanked that.
We were shocked because there was a tray of acid. It seemed to be mad. Oh
yes, I remember getting that. I remember getting burnt.
That's right. And they pulled us out, and we were terribly shocked.
Ooh.
Yes, I remember that.
It was my first time ever being with the Dalek, of course, because I never met them in the the TV show. So it was lovely to work with the Dalek. But
You see, Charlie, here are things you didn't know.
I mean, there's always things I don't know. This is only why I go to conventions. It's how I learn the most about my mother.
Seriously, there was acid in the orchestra pit at the Adelphi.
it was like an acid battery
Yes,
Oh,
that
yes.
operated the inside of the Dalek.
Yes.
But of course, I remember getting burnt, but I didn't remember it
I know.
falling off the stage.
Yes, he spun it round so fast, and it tipped. And luckily, it was during a rehearsal, so it wasn't too bad. And actually, something you probably didn't know was that when I covered for you, of course, they wanted to rehearse me, and they didn't have any clothes, so I was rehearsing in my own flared trousers. And what happened was that I was running across the stage, screaming as one does, walking towards, screaming and running towards the TARDIS. And at that moment, the 2 producers walked in, and as they walked in, my trousers slipped from crotch to ankle. Oh God, I was so embarrassed, so they had to rush me off to Carnaby Street to get some clothes.
how funny.
And then I was on that afternoon, that evening.
Wow.
Oh,
Why wasn't I there? I must have
You
been
had
there.
a very
Slacker.
bad throat.
Did I?
You lost your voice.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and you sent me a very nice telegram.
Did I?
It was very sweet.
Oh.
Telegrams. That's
I know, the good old days.
It's aged us now, hasn't it? Yes.
I remember I don't know about you, but I loved the start to that show where we sat in the auditorium.
Yes, that was lovely.
And I remember doing a panel with Terence Dix, who wrote it, obviously, and saying, I thought that was inspiring, that opening, Terence. I absolutely loved that, because, you sit in the back of the stalls and all the kids in the audience could possibly, if they'd got on quicker, have been in the show. Or they might have thought they could have been in the show. And Terence just went, I hated that opening. It wasn't my idea. And I said, sorry about that. So, well, it was better. Whatever you wrote, Terence, this was better. It was a great opening.
Are you saying that Terence was being curmudgeonly and miserable?
No, it was a really good opening, I thought. But unfortunately, we were on in the West End at the time of the IRA bombings, and they were happening. We actually heard one go off when we were at the theatre, which I think was a letterbox. There was a bomb in a letterbox in Piccadilly or somewhere, and audiences started to fall off, of course, because parents aren't going to bring their kids up to town. People get nervous, as we all know, and so bookings started to tail off, and so they decided that they would like to try and take this production on tour. And there were long discussions, and Trevor, I said I was fine, Trevor Martin said he was fine to go, we'd both go, but they couldn't fit the set in most of the provincial theatres because it was massive, that set. A huge screen, very technical, and theatres then in the provinces couldn't cope with the size of this type of show. It was quite before its time, actually. This show, it was a nightmare in as much as every line there was no real room for ad-libbing, because every line was a cue for something, either a lighting cue or there was a big back projection behind us. So it was very, very technical, and really good, and a really good story.
I came to see it.
Did you?
Yes, I
Did
did.
you?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was
thought it a good
sitting
story.
in the stalls, but if you were in the centre, I was at the stall side. I was left behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was a good opening. I remember once.
The whole thing was good.
The whole thing was good. At the opening, I remember once sitting at the back with the guy, and we were. The show opened, and there was the Doctor Who music, and the TARDIS appeared, and lots of smoke and things, and then the doors burst open of the TARDIS, and the Doctor came out, coughing and spluttering, saying, "Help me, help me." And what we did at the back was we'd let him do it for a bit, and then I'd say, "We ought to help him. That man needs help. We really ought to go and help him." And he'd say, "Well, we can't really, we can't." But of course, the audience didn't know we were part of the show, and so we used to get hit over the head. We used to turn around and shush, try to watch the show. If you can't be quiet, leave the theatre. And imagine their embarrassment when a few minutes later we'd run down the front and get up on the stage, help him back into the TARDIS would dematerialise, and then we were in the show. And I thought it was a terrific opening. Yeah, I thought it was terrific.
Tom, am I right in thinking that Trevor was under the impression that it would be an annual event at Christmas, a Doctor Who play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. The producers must have said something they planned to do it every. Yeah.
Really?
Well, presumably if they had the back arc of the sets, they could have done it, but circumstances
Yeah,
prevented it.
yeah, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions to finish off? Sorry. Sorry, I didn't.
No, you
No.
no.
First of all, ladies, it's lovely to see you. Thank you all for being here.
You're welcome.
Charlie, what piece of advice that your mum has given you over the years has meant most to you? Wendy, what piece of advice have you given her that she hasn't taken? Sorry, ladies.
Well, I mean, this is Mum did say that you mustn't swear, but if
Oh,
you do,
that was. I was going to say.
but if you do bollocks is a great word. Which of course, I think I was about 12 at the time, and so obviously the next day at school I said, "My mum said that you mustn't swear," but so that went down really well.
The other swearing one, I'll answer your question in a second, but the other swearing one was you came home from school and said, "Oh, Peter Jones, he was really naughty at school today. He said the F-U-C-K word." And I said, "I'm not bothered that he said the F-U-C-K word. I'm bothered that you can spell it." I have to say, Charlie has taken all my advice. I'm not sure I've ever given any advice, actually. I don't think I've been that. I mean, what can you do with your children? You want them to be happy and to fulfil their dreams, and probably this is why they both live on the other side of the world. I've been a rubbish mother, but I don't think.
I think a good one is quite general. I mean, it's quite specific, but a really handy piece of advice from Mum has always been, don't panic about coming home for Christmas. If you want to see me that badly and you can't make it at Christmas, come any other time. That's really helpful.
You never come to
Because
Christmas.
but that takes a lot of pressure off. Normally I would rather be at yours at Christmas, so I'm not sure that that's Mum uninviting me. We never really got to the bottom of that, whether that's just a casual way of being uninvited.
I don't think I've given you advice as such. Encouragement.
Yeah, when's that?
Encouragement. No, encouragement to go out and you know, be kind to people, to
Travel, to not go into acting. That's the piece of advice I should have taken. Don't go into acting.
certainly to travel was a piece of advice, to experience other cultures, because I think that is really, really important.
Yeah.
And they've both, taken that and run with it. But I don't really remember giving you advice as such.
What should I have done that I didn't? I mean, I think probably just a really basic. It was never do your homework. It was at the end of my school career where Mum sort of said, did you ever do any homework at any stage? And then I sort of said no, and she said, yeah, I didn't really do much. I know that's only 16 years and 18 years of telling you to do your homework. I think that was about as close to advice as it was really.
Okay. Just to say, folks, that at 4 o'clock there'll be a unique photo opportunity with 3 Jennies.
Nice.
Time has inevitably just about beaten us. But as I said at the start, this week marks the 50th anniversary of Zoe's first appearance. Wendy, for half a century, I'm not trying to, that sounds too long, has been a delight. She's a gorgeous, generous, lovely, wonderful person. And it's always, always a pleasure to have her at events, which she does worldwide, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And as a thank you and a commemoration of your 50th anniversary of Zoe,
Yes.
Jacquie Dubin will present you with an outstanding contribution to Doctor Who award.
Oh.
Thank you, folks. It's time for a break.
He was